Hi, it's your coach, Joe Lucas. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to September 28th. Gee, the 28th of September, only a few more days until we pivot into the last quarter of 2017. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Today, let's talk about really two things that I just want you to be very cognizant and aware of. Number one is your decision making throughout the day and also your habits throughout the day. If you really think about it, what you choose to do or sometimes choose not to do, right? There's a process, there's a protocol there. There's some sort of decision-making process, right? And then also, the old saying, human beings are creatures of habit. Two things that as an advisor, you really need to get your arms around. So let's talk about decision-making first, okay? So bottom line is this. If you're coming into your day and you're not absolutely clear, absolutely certain on what must get done. So for example, if you come into your day, man, I gotta make some more calls today, or I gotta get organized, or I've gotta, I gotta get motivated, whatever it happens to be, right? When you talk in very vague terms, your brain can't sit there and say, yes, this is exactly what I need to do. You need to have the conversation like, I got to make sure I do a minimum of 15 touch-base calls today. I've got to schedule a minimum of 2 to 3 meetings today. And when you really kind of think in that very detailed manner, it's a lot easier to move things forward. So number one, you need to have a written, keyword, written daily game plan. Now, whether you want to go on Practice Power Academy, do it, right? Or you want to go grab a legal pad like this and do it, or you want to go get a little scrap of paper like this and do it. Have it in writing. Look, I've got clients that go on Academy every day and do it. I've got clients that kind of do a spreadsheet every day, and that may be overkill for a lot of us. And I actually have some clients that really, literally, still old school works. Take an index card every morning, write down their goals for the day, stick it in their pocket, and they play with it and they refer to it throughout the day. I don't care how you do it. It's got to be in writing, because if it's not in writing, you're going to be subject to going sideways. And you know what I mean by that, right? Playing with your email and watching way too much CNBC or Fox Biz, right? Spending way too much time talking to friends or colleagues, because the bottom line is human beings will default to what is ever comfortable for them subconsciously. So if you go, hey, I got to make all these calls today, and I got to put myself out there, God forbid we fall on some prospects, right? Look, for most of us, that's going to be an uncomfortable. Look, it's a lot more uncomfortable to do that than to sit in your chair with your feet up, right, watching CNBC. And this is what we're talking about. You need to be very intentional throughout your day. So you need to kind of do that program, right? You need to kind of really sit there and have something in writing. And look, it doesn't have to be elaborate. Sometimes I think simplicity is just way more easily executable than having this. And I think a lot of times, because we have a lot of OCD people in this industry, there's this concept of I got to have this massive thing, right? It's all or nothing. Never, that's a decision you do not want to make. Think incrementally. Think index card. Think a piece of paper. I'm not a fan of sticky notes, but if you got to go down that road, fine. In writing, please. So daily game plan. Now, next thing you're gonna ask, well, what goes on there, Joe? What do they look like? Well, I think there's 5 key deliverables, right? How many people you're going to talk to or email personally today? How many meetings you're going to set up, whether it's clients or prospects? How many times are you going to mention referrals and introductions, right? Those are 3 things for sure, right? And then 4 and 5, personally myself, 4 would be, did I do my morning ritual? Subject for another video, right? And then where am I tracking all this? So where am I keeping my KPIs or my key performance indicators, right? Just like any other business, right? There are certain things that if you track, you'll know where we are. And look, let's face it, most firms, even on a custodial standpoint, you get a lot of tracking done, right? Asset flows, revenue flows. I mean, you get all that, households, right? Normally you can get that. Those are results. What you need to track are your behaviors. Remember, we are in a behavior-based business, okay? So you need to track touches, you need to track meetings, you need to track introduction conversations, you need to track morning rituals, and then whatever else kind of makes sense. Here's the one thing I don't want you to track, which usually gets me in trouble with some of the other consultants out there. Unless you're paid by the hour, tracking your time is an absolute waste of time. Just a bunch of busy work, right? What we need to track is output, calls, meetings, introduction conversation. That's what matters. And here's what you're going to find. When you really get clear on what your outcomes need to be every day, your brain goes, oh, okay, we can get this done. And here's the other false thing, if you will. Why do you hang out in your office all day? Especially if the market's open. And unless you're trading intraday, right, and really doing it, why are you hanging out? Because the phone might ring, because somebody may walk in. If you're done, if you say, hey, every day I've got to do 15 contacts, I got to schedule 2 meetings, I got to have 2 or 3 or 4 introduction conversations, right? I do my morning ritual and I track, and it's Thursday. And you know what? I got up early today. I banged out a couple personal emails. I got in the office. I talked to 5 or 6 or 7 clients. I got some people scheduled, right? Maybe I have a review that day. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why would you want to hang out till 5 or 6 o'clock? Go out and play. Hang with your family. Go play golf. Go see a movie. Do whatever you want to do. If you have this concept that I have office hours, what your brain says to you is this: oh, we have all day to do whatever we have to do because we'll do it later. So this is what happens. We do it later. We get into the later mode, right? I'll do it later. I'll do it after lunch. I'll do it after the market. I'll do it when things calm down. And you condition yourself to waste so much time. The average advisor, I've been doing this for almost 25 years now, the average advisor blows up half their day on BS, hanging out in non-priority activities. So this is a behavior-based business. This is about tracking. This is about, we're going to keep this G, right? This is about getting stuff done, period. Your revenue is directly proportional to what you get done. So if you're majoring in minor things, your bank account is minor also. Have a great day.